being a first round draft pick, especially getting drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles, we all know that's a market. You know, they are very passionate fans, right?
They're crazy.
They're ruthless. We all know that. And coming into it, I didn't really understand the lingo from football. I didn't have anybody in my family who could tell me about, okay, what is the NFL going to be like? I was the first one in my family to ever get that far, so I didn't really understand what it was going to be like. And it took a toll on me. I was looking at Twitter. I was looking at all these things that they were saying about me. And I realized that I had an anxiety issue, and then that anxiety issue turned into depression, right? So over the course of my career, this was ongoing anxiety, depression each and every year. And then once I got to my fourth year when I was playing in Seattle, it came to a head, and we were talking about suicide prevention. That was something that happened with me. That was something that, you know, I had to finally say, hey, I need help. I need help, you know, because I wanted to finish my career and be able to go further. But, you know, as men, we oftentimes don't know how to say we need help, and we don't know how to articulate our feelings or what we feel. And one of the things that really helped me was when I started to go to therapy, and thank you for, you know, Pete Carroll, because being in Seattle was probably the best place for me, because Pete Carroll allowed me to take time away from the game. He allowed me to go seek therapy. And the first thing that she said to me was, well, do you know how you feel? And I'm like, you know what? I really don't know. I was blaming everything on football. Like, football is the reason why I'm here, rather than going within, going back to when I was 8 years old, to when I had my first anxiety attack. That was the thing. And she put me on this feelings wheel, and the feelings wheel allows you to articulate, okay, what am I feeling on that day? And so I was actually able, after that, I took some time away. I was able to see my daughter born. My wife was pregnant at the time, and I was able to see her born. And then I ended up signing with the Redskins after that, because I started to take that journey to redefine who the real Marcus Smith was, and know that, you know, I'm not alone, and I'm in this for the right reasons. Yeah, for me, you know, when I started this journey was in 2019. It was terrifying. It was scared. I was scared to death, because, you know, in the locker room, we're not going around to each other like, you know, just being vulnerable with each other, right? And talking about those deep, dark feelings that we may have been feeling. And what I did was, after that, once I really started that journey process and I started looking within myself, I had, you know, started a nonprofit in which we unmask the feelings that cause anxiety and depression. And the biggest thing with that is we don't necessarily know who we are under the helmet, right? That's why my logo is a helmet, half face, half helmet, because we are constantly looking for our purpose. What are we on this earth to do? What are we supposed to be doing? We're constantly searching for that. And so through therapy and through, he spoke about journaling a little bit too as well, being able to put those thoughts on paper, because sometimes our minds are rolling 1,000 miles a minute, and we don't know how to get through that part. Like, even coming up here, I can be honest with you guys and say, hey, I was having anxiety coming up here, being able to speak to you. But how do we get through those parts? Learning breathing techniques that to really help us, like slowing your breathing process down and really identifying what is the true problem, right? And so through that and what we were doing and how I was doing, I think that, you know, that part of it was super important for me to get to the part of the healing process. And I always would say that, especially to the young kids out there, like, you have to realize that success is not a destination, it's a mindset. And we have to understand that if you really look at success, all of us, when people look at us, are like, oh man, these people are successful, right? We've all been through something, right? So really, true success is the pain, the struggle, some of the things that you endure along the way to get to your purpose. That is really true success. And so I just wanted to convey that to the kids, and I'm hoping that they hear that and be able to push that message forward. Yeah, I would say to be open. You know, my first part of therapy, it was because I had to, right? I had got to a certain point where he was talking about at your rock bottom, right? I had to be in therapy, right? And the person that was sitting across from me didn't look like me, but at the same time, she could empathize with me. So I would say be open, just because even though the person doesn't necessarily look like you, especially coming from the community that I come from, you know, African American household, I was afraid to have a person that didn't look like me in a therapy room. But because I hit rock bottom and I had to do that, I realized that, yo, she is a dope therapist and she really can help me. So even when you're going to get help and you actually want to take a part of that journey, I would just say be open and have an open mind with it, because that person may be the best person and could help you save your life.